Hello, what's up, YouTube world? It's your girl Dana Monet again, here to recap American Idol season 15 farewell season of Hollywood Week. So we had the first two rounds of Hollywood Week, and this is one of my favorite parts of the process because I get a little irritated at the auditions and I'm usually ready for them to end. So Hollywood is like the meat and potatoes of it. You know, you really see who the stars are and who emerge. So was very excited about Hollywood Week. Now, I did want to discuss my favorites from round one, which was the first, lines of 10. Then I'm going to discuss some favorites from the group rounds. It's a lot to discuss. There's so much to talk about. Some tickets that I would have even revoked. And my top three favorites overall in the competition. And then at the end, I am going to discuss some new information that's been provided regarding the schedule of the semifinal round. So really excited. I do want to point out one more time, as I do in every video, please no spoilers. The top 24 will be announced next week, so we can hold on for one more week. All right, no spoilers. Okay, so much to talk about. So many people. It was just kind of a daunting task. So on Hollywood Week Night 1, I had several favorites. I had Dalton, Rapatoni, Olivia Rocks, Sonica Vade, LaPortia Renee, Shelby Z, Tristan McIntosh, and Trent Harmon. And Dalton wasn't really somebody that I was really checking for in the auditions, although I did like his bleach blonde hair and blue eyes. But during Hollywood Week, I started to like him. And his first round audition, he sang, Hollywood Week audition, he sang California Dreamin'. And I did appreciate his interpretation of the song, and he was in the very beginning of the first couple of people night one, so he was the best out of those first three people that they were showing. But as the time went on, I was realizing that he was one of my favorites, so he knew what he was doing, and I like that. Olivia Rocks, who had a pink guitar, which is really, really fierce. I believe she sang Genie in a Bottle. So I actually really liked it. It was a very small snippet, but I really liked it. There's another thing about that first Hollywood Week night. There was a lot of snippets. Like nobody even sang for 60 seconds. So, sometimes those things happen. The next person I liked was Sonica Vade. As I did in the audition rounds, her voice is so pure and her tone is just magical. I really can't wait to hear her on a full song with some instrumentation. I just feel like her tone lends itself really well to, like recording and just hearing somebody on the radio. And I really think that she's, top 10 material. Another person that's top 10 material is LaPortia Renee, okay? And she sang Roar by Katy Perry. And at first I was like, why is she singing this song? But she definitely upgraded that song, I have to say. And 3 seconds in, it didn't matter that she was singing that song, because she's such an amazing singer that she can make any song that she sings her own and make you enjoy it, even if you hate the song. So that's the amazing thing about her. She did pull back a little bit. She didn't let everything out, but she, gave you enough to be wanting more. So definitely excited about LaPortia. Another one of my favorites was Shelby Z. And this was the contestant that was also on The Voice in season 5. She just has so much confidence and attitude and, power in her voice. And, I also think that she could be a top 10er as well. Also, I like Tristan McIntosh, who sang Something in the Water. It's just something about her that I really, really like. I don't know, it's just something about her voice. It's just, every now and again she has some pitch issues, but they're not all entirely noticeable. She has so much power to her voice. She has this like pop, country, soul type vibe, and I think that she's very versatile. She would do very good with all the different theme weeks, and I just think that she'll just be able to fit right in with that. And my last favorite from Hollywood night one was Trent Harmon. And, you know, this story kind of goes on into the group night, but he had mono. And I was like, he's one of my favorites. He would, you know, mess up his voice. But he did sing Lay Me Down by Sam Smith. And I do think he powered through the song like a pro. It wasn't perfect, but he did what he needed to do. And he knows what to do with his voice when his voice isn't at 100%. A lot of people don't know how to sing, you know, when they're sick or they have some type of physical illness that's preventing them from really giving 100% vocally. But there's ways to train your voice and, you know, different things that you can do. If you know your voice well enough, you know, you can change it up at a moment's notice. And I think that he did a really good job with that. I do want to see him perform again, you know, 100% without anything being wrong with his voice. So, you know, we can all see his greatness again. So, you know, we're keeping it short and sweet. I did just want to give an honorable mention to Lijon. I kind of dissed him earlier on in one of the other recap videos that I think that he should have gotten his ticket revoked and he's like the Black Daniel Stevie. But after hearing him in the first Hollywood week, night one and the group rounds, he's kind of growing on me a little bit. I'm not mad that he made it through. And I also wanted to get a shout out to Emily Brooke because everybody was crazy about her during her audition and I was not. I'm actually one of those people who I think that she sounded a lot better in her Hollywood first solo. So that was just some honorable mentions that I wanted to give. And now into the drama of group rounds. Wasn't a whole lot of drama. It was a normal drama. But out of the group rounds, there's so many people that I just want to give a shout out to. It's like ridiculous. Okay. So on Team Blue Eyes, Corey Wheeler, who was a returning contestant, I think his voice sounded really, really nice. They were singing Treasure by Bruno Mars, which was a popular song in group rounds, by the way. Jenna Renee, who in the audition rounds, if you remember, I couldn't remember her or what she did, but her tone and her voice, it was just magic that was coming out. I was like, oh, I was sleeping on her. And then I also liked Kelsey Watts, and it was probably mainly for that damn whistle note she did. But it was on point. It was a little shaky, but it was on point because that note could have been seriously catastrophic. And also her tone, I really enjoyed her tone too. The only person out of that group I didn't really care for that much was Jordan Sasser, and I personally thought his golden ticket should have been taken away in the first solo rounds. I think when he was with the group he sounded better, but I'm not crazy that he's crazy about the fact that he's made it this far. Moving right along to Team Milk and Cookies. I just happen to love that name. Although it was only one black girl in that group, but they still call it Milk and Cookies. Maybe it was like vanilla wafers, but I'm thinking Milk and Cookies, I'm thinking chocolate chip. Okay, talking too much about cookies. Back to the singers. Now, the person who really stood out for me in this group was Sarah Sturm. I think that's how you say her last name. It was just something about her voice, and she had this break in it, and she had this like power behind her voice that really stood out to me. But I do think as a whole, I think that their group was very good, very in sync. Like Sarah was just the one who really stood out to me vocally. The next group was called Ooh Times 2. I don't know where they got that name from, but Tristan McIntosh. Once again, you're killing it, girl. I just love her voice, this power that she has in her voice. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not always perfect, like with the notes, but if she could get a vocal coach to help her with that pitch, because her voice and tone and her power is just so on point. Like, I just think that, you know, she could do a lot of things with that voice of hers. And again, an honorable mention to Lijon in that group. And also just want to point out, I'm not crazy about Amelia. Everybody was crazy about her in her audition. I didn't really care for the audition, and I didn't really care for her in the group round. I mean, she can sing. I'm not going to take that away from her, but I don't like the way that she sings. Let's put it like that. The next person I was feeling was Avalon Young, and she was the girl who came into the audition and she had on a bummy outfit, but she chose to wear that same exact bummy outfit for the group round. She probably wore it all through Hollywood Week. Like, nobody needs that. You can be bummy, but wear different bummy clothes. Like, why are you gonna wear the same outfit? Like, makeover time is here for her. The stylists are gonna have a ball with her. But she has a good, foundation in the looks department. But back to her singing, they were singing DJ Got Us Falling in Love Again. And, and just to backtrack really quickly, Team Milk and Cookies sang Drag Me Down by One Direction. Ooh Times 2 sang Too Close was also a very popular group round song. Okay, back to Avalon. Love her voice. Voice needs to be on the record. She needs to be in the studio recording, and I need to hear her on the radio because she just has this very current, just lighthearted, pop kind of vibe to her voice, but it's not annoying. It's just she's just enjoying it and feeling it. And I really like her voice. It's not the strongest or the most rangy voice, but it is a marketable voice. I will say that. And I'm saying that in the best possible way, not because I have to say it, but I actually enjoy listening to her. My girl Colette was in that group as well, but I didn't get to hear her sing, but she made it through. So, and all of the people I'm talking about are making it through. If they don't, I'll definitely mention that. I wish I could have heard Colette sing because they didn't show her first Hollywood solo. So hopefully they show her in the final solos. The next person I really enjoyed was China Sherrod. Every time, because I watched the episode twice because I needed to remember all of this stuff and go back and kind of refresh my memory. But every time I heard her sing, and I think that she was singing coming from a commercial break, I was like, who is this? And her voice was just amazing. It's very, pleasing to the ear. And I just really enjoyed the tone of her voice. I don't remember it sounding that good in the audition. She's definitely something that little snippet of me hearing her singing. I'm sold on her. I want her to be in the top 10. I want everybody in the top 10. No, but I want her there. And she plays the guitar. So yeah, she needs to be in there. Also in that group was Tarian, and I wasn't crazy about her in her audition. She sang Happy by Pharrell, and she didn't really seem that happy, but she had a little pep in her step when she was performing, and she looked like she, likes to dance. So maybe she needs to, do some fancy footwork and, be dancing on that stage, to get her to be lively and stuff. The next person that I really liked was Trent Harmon, and he had a unique situation because he had mono. He couldn't be in any groups. The doctors gave him the go ahead and sing, but he couldn't sing in any groups. So during group round, he actually had a solo round and sang by himself. And he sang Rather Be by Clean Bandit, as did China Sherrod. I think it was interesting when he was performing because he was definitely performing as if he was singing in a group, going from side to side. He was going out of breath, but he was keeping that pitch and he was keeping that tone. I mean, he goes a little extra with the faces, but I mean, he's going for it. He's trying. He's not trying to make it seem like this is just being given to him, even though he seems a little bit like a producer pet, like somebody that they're pushing. But when you come out there every single time you're on the stage and you give 150%, I don't care how much they're pushing you. I'm going to like you if you're giving 100% and your voice sounds like that, even when you're not at 100%. So kudos to Trent. The next person I really liked in group rounds was Shelby Z. Once again, she's doing the damn thing. And her group sang Undo It by Carrie Underwood. Yeah, you blew it. You pulled me through it. I want to undo it. I like that song. So personally, she was the only one I really liked in that group. There was only one person that got eliminated in that group, and that was Lindsay Carrier. But Shelby Z, her conviction when she sings, her power, her tone is full of marshmallows. It's warm and pal. Like, I mean, she just knows what she's doing when she gets up there, and she knows how to have presence on stage, and she just knows what to do. Like, I love Shelby Z. Like, she's probably one of my favorite country artists that I've ever seen on one of these shows. Like, seriously, I really like her. The next group was the Chicken Noodle Soup group. I love that name too. I want to be like, chicken noodle soup, chicken noodle soup, chicken noodle soup with the soda on the side. Had a little dance to that. But yeah, this is actually the group that Poe quit. Oh, that reminds me. Poe, She's sister, quit because Hollywood Week and this whole American Idol thing was too much for her. I freaking hate it when people quit. I absolutely hate it when they quit on this show. I've seen a whole bunch of girls quit on like America's Next Top Model. I hated when people quit on shows like this because there's thousands and thousands of people that wanted to be in your position, and you took one of those spots and then you want to quit because you couldn't handle it. Like, what did you expect this was going to be? And your sister went through this process. I'm sure she told you all about everything that goes on. So I don't understand that. She looked really cute. Like, I mean, I don't get it. She had a nice voice. Like, I can't when people quit. Like, I just don't like it. But anyway, moving on with Chicken Noodle Soup. And there was a little bit of drama with this group and whatever. But it had Dalton and Natalia and Cassie. And Natalia had a momager who was kind of, in full swing. But I liked Dalton again. He had a lot of personality. And I think that that's one of the things that made me kind of warm up to him during the Hollywood rounds, is that he had a lot of personality. I really like Cassie's voice. Her voice, a lot of people have this season have this like kind of low, husky, like really full tone. And I'm so here for it. I really like it. And I like Natalia too. I think she had a lot of spunk. So I think that they were correct in sending that entire group through. Kind of because Natalia was kind of involved with that group, and also Envy group, and that's the letter N and the letter V, with Sonica and Stephanie. And we all know that I love Sonica's tone, but I really liked Stephanie. I think she did a much better job than what she did in her audition, when she was, I don't know what she was trying to do in her audition, even though I liked her tone. The way she was singing wasn't great. But I really enjoyed her in the group performance. And I mean, they were performing with Andrew. And personally, I probably wouldn't have put him through. But, it is what it is. They got one less problem. And they sang Problem by Ariana Grande. Chicken Noodle Soup sang Treasure. The next people, it was like a full group that I liked, and their name was Trick or Treat Tribe. At first, I only wrote Trick or Treat, and then I heard it was Trick or Treat Tribe. And I liked the whole group, but specifically Marcio Donaldson and Kyle Thomason. Kyle Thomason had a really long hair, and he had shorts on. And these are two people I don't think that they showed in the audition, so they probably won't make it to the top 24 because that's how it goes on the show. But they really stood out to me, and they were singing Uptown Funk, and I was like, hey, this hit, that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold, with the piano accompaniment. I was like, I like this. This is hot. And whatever harmonies they were doing in the background, girls hit hallelujah, girls hit hallelujah, or something like that. I don't know what they were doing, but everything that they did was hot. And I liked it. So, yes. You always get points when you sing Uptown Funk. Because nobody has ever actually done a bad job singing that song that I've seen on a reality singing competition. So, it's always a win. Team Rebirth, I also enjoyed. And that had Manny Torres, Miley Delgado, and Christian Eason. All were amazing, and I also just have to commend Miley because her voice was going and she was still powering through it and, doing what she needed to do. And they sang Too Close. I thought their harmonies were really, really nice. And Christian, who is also somebody that I don't remember seeing in the audition round, had a really, really powerful voice and a nice low register, a lot of conviction when he sang. And the next people I enjoyed were the sisters. with an AH, honey. And that was LaPortia Renee, Marlena Johnson, who actually looks like Halle Berry in my opinion, and Tony Starr. And they sang Staying Alive. And I think that they did an absolute excellent job. LaPortia, let me just tell you, she came out ready to do the damn thing. She was like, I can tell by the way that you move. She was doing like the Naomi Campbell walk. I was like, yes, ma'am, get it. Every time I think I've seen something that she can do, she always brings out something else. So not only can she sing and interpret a song and do crazy runs, but she has stage presence. She knows how to dance. She knows how to move. She can give attitude. Like, you know, it's not just about being able to sing. It's about being able to fill the stage and being able to command an audience. And I think that she absolutely did that. But don't sleep on the other two members, because that Tony Starr was right on point with it, with her voice. I loved it, loved the outfit and everything like that. Now Marlena, she kind of messed it up when she forgot the words, but I think that she pulled it together, and you know, she just ad-libbed through it. She didn't stop. She was just like, oh, and they gave her that note at the end. That was cool. But I did like on the chorus, like they were powering through in their verses, and then in the chorus they were like, whether you're brother, whether you're mother, you're still alive. So I like the way they pulled that back. I thought that was really cool. And I did just want to point out a really popular song during group rounds was The Renegade, and I don't think any of the groups did a really good job with that song. One of the most popular songs that used to be a part of group round was Blue Cantrell's Hit 'Em Up Style. Hey ladies, if your man wanna get buck wild, just go back and hit 'em up style. I only saw one group to perform that, and that was a group with Brenda K. Starr's daughter, Gianna Isabella. And I'm like, where's all the Hit 'Em Up Styles at? But Too Close was pretty popular, and Treasure. So those were my favorites from both nights. And just to state my favorites overall, who like I need them to like be in the top 24, but specifically the top 10, are LaPortia, Tristan, and Chyna. Chyna just kind of entered that with her tone. Tone is just so important to me. So, but it was really hard to pick that third person because there were so many great singers, and it's probably about 6 other people that could have gotten in there. And I had favorites that I didn't see that much during the Hollywood week, so it was kind of hard, but I kind of came out of the fray with those 3. And now I did just want to discuss some new information regarding the schedule for the semifinal round. So there have been rumors, and I've heard that it won't actually be gender segregated where they have to pick 12 boys and 12 girls. It's just going to be top 24 of the best talent, which I really enjoy. Before I get into that, I just realized that I didn't advise you of the tickets that I would revoke. And I did mention Jordan Sasser, who did make it past the group rounds. I wanted to revoke his ticket. Jackie, or JC Butler, girl with the green hair, she made it past the first round, but she was eliminated in group rounds, which was correct. Daniel Farmer, he was eliminated in the group round, although I thought he was better in the group round than he had been in his first Hollywood solo. Geneve Rose Mitchell, she made it past the group round. She's the girl, off the grid girl, basically. They see this amazing diamond in the rough in her. I don't see it. And Michelle Marie. I liked her audition, and that's all I've liked of her so far. So, and she made it past the group round. So, what can you do? All right, so back to the schedule. So, I like the idea of a non-gender segregated top 24. It could end up being more girls than guys because the girls have definitely been dominating. So, I'm not mad at that. But one thing that it seems that's coming is that during the semifinals, the judges are going to be voting on who's going to be making it to the next round. And I'm not sure if I like that. It doesn't seem like the public is going to get a chance to vote initially. So that's not something that I'm entirely excited about. But those first 2 performance shows will actually be pre-taped because they're only going to be an hour long. But yet they are going to have results shows. So it's not going to be like last season where everybody doesn't get to sing, at least in the semifinal round. Everybody is going to sing, and then the next day you're going to find out if you make it to the next round. So that's always nice to know. So on February 10th, a group of 12 contestants will perform. And then on February 11th, there'll be results. Judges will send 5 artists home out of that 12, so there'll be 7 left. And then on February 17th, another group of top 12 will perform again, and judges will vote and send 5 acts home. In the midst of this, there will be Idol alum mentoring and performing with the contestants. And then on Wednesday, February 24th, it's another elimination. The top 14 will perform. And hopefully by that point we'd be able to vote. I'm hoping for that. And then on February 25th, the top 10 are announced and they'll perform. And then in March, we'll start the official finals. So they're really trying to chop and, get through this. The showcase round is next week. We're going to find out who the top 24 is by the end of next week. So this is moving right along, but I'm excited. I can't wait for the live rounds to actually hear people sing, full songs and, not just snippets. And we get to hear what everybody can do. So I'm excited about that. So until next time, see you later. Bye.